Hey guys, it's Dragon Rockstar here, coming with you a 60 card Chaos Lightsworns post Master Rule 5 and April 1st ban list. So, Master Rule 5 is a really complex way of playing a lot of decks and bringing back a lot of decks. So this deck is really more consistent. It does play a lot of links due to the fact it's Master Rule 5 and we are able to combo off a lot better. We don't have to have the XCs and stuff in the extra deck zone. So, and if you guys haven't seen my previous videos, please check down below. I am not able to leave the description, so please check out my channel. You guys will see that I've done a 60 card Shaddoll Invoked Spice. That's what I've been calling it lately because it plays a small little engine that consists of a different way of comboing off. If you guys are curious, you guys can check it out on my channel. It's really good of a video. I try my best. But anyways, this deck consists of different ways of comboing off, and it's chaos. So it's more easier for Lightsworns to combo off, and a lot of cards in the graveyard basically allows you to do that. RIP both Globald and Sturdo, both of them were destroyed on the ban list. I am sad about that, but yeah, this deck does run pretty well, and it is consistent. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm coming with you both the extra deck, side deck, and the main deck. The side deck is based on this format when I am determining is really good in this format. Extra deck's pretty powerful as well. So to get started, for the monsters, or for like the big boss monsters in the deck, I do play 2 Chaos Dragon Leviators and 2 Blacklisted Soldiers on Void Beginning. These are both the main Chaos monsters you want to play in the deck. They're very consistent. I do want to play 3 of each, but there's times where during beginning of the game, like say if you go first, drawing these cannot be able to help you at all. So I'm thinking of I cut them down to 2 each. At first I was playing 3 each. If you guys don't know, Blacklisted Soldier is basically the beat stick. Allows you to get a banish 1 card on the field. Allows you to get rid of a problematic card. Plus is a double attacking monster, which is really good. Chaos Dragon Leviator basically allows you to special summon. If you banish all lights, if you banish all darks, you get to pop 2 cards on your opponent's side of the field. Or I think, no, you get to, sorry, rewind that, I'm sorry. You get to remove, I think it's remove a card from your opponent's hand and shuffle it back into the deck. Only light, special summon a monster from your graveyard. Darks allows you to shuffle one random card from your opponent's hand into the deck. And light and dark basically allows you to destroy cards. This is pretty much a good, consistent way for Lightsworns to get rid of problematic cards. We do play a lot of light monsters in the deck, so basically it's a way to help you combo off a little bit better. So, yeah. For the other monsters, I do play the one Gizmek monster. Gizmek, he's really good. He's basically a rank 8 to help me turbo, or he's basically a level 8 to help me turbo out. So yeah. One Chaos Reaper. The reason I play 1 Chaos Reaper instead of 2, back then I used to play 2. The reason why I play 1 is because at times it's good to see in the graveyard. It can become a brick in beginning of the game because you can't really summon it without tributing. So I only play 1, and it's pretty good of a card. In mid-game, it's basically a good way to get rid of something out of your opponent's graveyard that could be a problem. That's it for like all the main big boss monsters. For like the Lightsworn engine, I do play Double Raiden. Raiden is self-explanatory. Triple Wolf and the one Felice for level 4s, Lightsworns. The reason why I play these guys is self-explanatory. Wolf is basically a free special summon. Felice is basically a way to get rid of problematic cards off the board if you need it. And Raiden is basically your go-to level 4 to mill. So these are all self-explanatory. The reason why I'm not playing Triple Raiden in this deck than my other decks is because Raiden in this deck is not really as important. It's good to draw, but Charge Life Gaze is another card that helps you search it out, and things of that nature. Plus, there's many other monsters in the deck that basically helps you combo off, and drawing like 2 Raidens and the first hand is actually kind of bad, in my personal opinion. So, yeah. So that's it for the level 4 Lightsworns. For the level 3 Lightsworns, I do play 2 Luminous and then 1 Baby Minerva. The reason why I play the Baby Minerva because it helps me get an extra mill. That's self-explanatory. And 2 Luminous because you never want to see Lumina in your hand. You always want to either A, mid-draw it, or B, basically get it off of Charge of Light Brigade. It's really good. Allows you to recycle your Lightsworns and recycle itself, which is really cool, in my personal opinion. But yeah. I do play a danger lineup. Due to the fact that this April 1st ban list, the dangers were cut down a lot. So, for instance, I do play triple danger Mothman, one danger Nessie, one danger Shukanuku, and one danger Jackalope. Correct me if I'm wrong on how to pronounce this guy in the comments below, but Shukanuku is what I call it. It's really, all these dangers are really good. Sad that both of these two got hit straight to 1. I didn't see them being more of a problematic cards, but I get why they got hit because of Lunar Lights were abusing it to a high degree, but I am glad that Danger Mothman is still a thing, and thank you Konami for keeping Mothman still off the ban list. But overall, these dangers play a pretty good role in the deck, and they basically help you combo off, so yeah. Plus, they're free draws, sometimes they're free effects, so I figure I'll play them as is. I do play a small hand trap lineup in the deck, so I do play, for instance, I do play double Ash Blossom and the one Ghost Snow Rabbit. These are really good hand traps to play. I know it's kind of sad. Why do I only play 2 and 1? I do play Emergency Teleporter in the deck just because of him. And I do, for Ash Blossoms, I do play other hand traps that also work with Ash Blossoms. It's bad to draw 2 in one hand, so I like to draw 1, and that's why I like to cut it down to 1. It is a powerful hand trap in my personal opinion, but overall, I think these pretty much worked out pretty well. Triple Cyphering Gammas as well as the Driver. The reason why I play them is because this is a really good hand trap. Plus, when you're playing off like Pot of Desires, your opponent tries to negate Pot of Desires, you can actually chain Gamma. And if your opponent tries to negate Pot of Avarice, any of your one-up spell cards, you can chain with Gamma and literally go off. Basically gives you a free level 4 monster on the board. I didn't think of that back then, but Gamma is actually a really good hand trap. Plus, it's very good to stop your opponent on their effects. So, I think Gamma is really a powerful hand trap in my personal opinion. And I'm glad for the Team APS crew for actually signing my Gammas. Thank you so much, Paul and the rest of the crew. I am grateful that you guys were able to be at the YCS 200. Thank you for signing my Cyphering monsters. I'm very grateful for that. So, yeah. For the other monsters, I do play, just to double check and make sure I didn't mix up anything. There we go. I do play the 1 damage juggler, the 1 hat tricker, and the 1 trick clown. Now, the reason why I only play 1 damage juggler, because sometimes it could be a brick, sometimes it's a really powerful hand trap. Plus, for this deck, I'm only playing 1. I think it's really well by itself at 1. I have a lot of other monsters that I mill off a charge that I would like to see in my graveyard to bring out on my board. So I think Damage Juggler is really good at 1. Hat Tricker is good at 1 as well. Trick Clown's pretty consistent as well. I like Trick Clown at 1, like always in every other deck I play. So I think these pretty much, they play off pretty well. There's been times where I probably want to boost up these 2. If I can get my other copies, I'll basically boost them up. But for now, they've pretty much run pretty well. I do play a nice little nifty monster, Luna the Dark Spirit. Now, the reason I play this is because I do play Dangers, so banishing a Dark off the graveyard is pretty well. It's for free level 4, from my personal opinion. It's pretty much a free level 4 to summon. Banishing like the Dangers or any other Darks that I have in my graveyard that can become dead or useless is pretty good. Plus, you can banish yourself to summon itself, which is funny. Like, having it in the graveyard, banish the Dark, summon it. So it's pretty cool. It's basically a free level 4 to summon, in my personal opinion, which is pretty powerful of effect. I do play the 1 Blackwing Sephiroth Elite. Sometimes bouncing back a dead monster on my side of the board is very good. I found out that certain extra deck monsters is not a good idea. You can't bounce back an extra deck monster, I believe. I don't know if that ruling is true. Let me know down in the comments below, but I believe that's a ruling that's very self-explanatory. It is a powerful effect, so bouncing back one of my dead monsters, so like if my Lumina gets negated or something like that, I can bounce back, or if I need something to discard and this guy's in my graveyard, I can just bounce it back and just go off with combos and stuff like that, so he's pretty powerful. He's a good level 4 monster. I do still play the 1 Revival Golem. I play this in any mill deck I can keep putting in. He's self-explanatory. He's basically a free summon, so yeah, it's self-explanatory. I do play the one Clap Serpent and the one Wizard Buster. These two are self-explanatory, the best dragons in the game, in my personal opinion. So I'm kind of hateful that Konami did hit them back in the day, but Konami actually did get the idea for that because rockets would have been more powerful. But thank you, Konami. But overall, I think both of these are good at 1, maybe 2-ish. But for now, these cards do play a very big role in this deck, and I'm grateful for that. And they're very, very free. They're very, very versatile. So once you leak away one, the other one gets to your hand. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I do play the one Supreme King Dragon Dark Worm. Self-explanatory. When it's milled, it's basically a free summon. Unless you control a monster, but other than that, most often I don't really control monsters, so I like it out of that. It's basically a foolish parallel target if I need a free level 4 monster to start off with my combo, so yeah. And then for the only 2 level 1s I do play, I play the one Dotscaper and the one Jet Synchron. Jet Synchron self-explanatory helps me get rid of dead cards out of my hand. It's basically a free summon. Dotscaper is a free special summon when it's milled. I don't really use it for its banishing effect, but if my opponent does banish it from my graveyard, I can get it from my side of the board. But other than that, I don't really use it for that ability, but I believe it's a really good card as it is. That's it for all the monsters. It's a very heavy amount of monsters. I believe it's like 30-something monsters or 40-something monsters, which is really self-explanatory. It's really good. This deck is really consistent based on the ratios that I made it as. For the spell cards, I play Triple Charge Light Brigade and Triple Solar Recharge. These are pretty much all the Lightsworn spells you will ever play in the deck. They're both self-explanatory. If I can get my hands on Sturridge Suffrage Dragon, if I pronounce that right, I will be main decking Judgment Dragon, which I believe will pretty much probably be a good card to play. If I had Suffrage Dragon, I will play it in the deck and basically come out with a better deck profile than this one. No offense to this deck, but that card is really hard to find in the area that I'm currently in, so I'm working on trying to get it offline, which could be a really powerful card in effect for this type of deck. For now, I think how the deck is pretty self-explanatory. But for instance, like Triple Charge Library, Triple Solar Recharge is really good, and you need Lightsworns, and you need a way to get a lot of stuff in your graveyard. I do play 2 Pot of Desires. Desires is basically the draw power of the deck. It basically allows you to go more combos. Like I said with Gamma, if you play Pot of Desires and you have banished the driver, you can chain Gamma. If your opponent negates the draw power effect of it, you cannot negate the cost. But if they try to negate the draw power, you can chain Gamma and just go off. If they're using a monster effect, so yeah. I do play the 1 Pot of Acquisitus. Now what this does is it allows you to shuffle 3 of your target 3 banished monsters. It doesn't matter on it could be in your opponent's banish zone and my banish zone. Shuffle all 3 back into the deck, and I get to draw a card. So it's basically a way to help me recycle my banished cards, as well as helps me stop my opponent or mess with my opponent a little bit, depending on the matchup and depending on what I'm going against. So it's a free draw also, in my personal opinion. Konami brought this back to 3. I only play 2 because I don't really see me playing 3. So I play double Pot of Avarice. Pot of Avarice is really, really good as a card, but drawing multiples in your hand could be a really bad brick. So I'm thinking 2 of it in this deck could be really good. Like Pot of Desires, I only like playing 2 in any of my decks because drawing more than 1 is a brick because you can't do anything with that card. So 2 Pot of Desires is really good in this deck. Drawing it off of Sayuja is really good too. Like it helps you recycle your graveyard even more, so it gives you more draws, which is really cool. For the 1-of spell cards, I do play 1 Reinforcements in the Army, 1 Emergency Teleport for Ghost Orc Snow Rabbit, which is self-explanatory. 1 card destruction because I do play Still the Danger, so discarding my whole hand if it's basically a fill with monsters and drawing a bunch of spells and traps and other cards like that can be very helpful. 1 Foolish Burial, which is self-explanatory, helps you get something that you need to the graveyard as fast as possible, so it's basically a dump for the deck. 1 1-for-1. I do play 2 level 1 monsters, and sending one of those monsters that can get their effects to go off is really, really good. And then the 1 Monster of 1. Now these are all self-explanatory 1-ofs. If they were all to come somewhat to in the future to 2, I will be playing multiples of each. But for now, these are all self-explanatory. They all are consistent and they very combo off as well. they help me combo off, which is all you really need for this type of deck. For the traps, I do play double, infinite, and permanents. I would love to play 3 if I had a third one, but 2 so far has actually been working out pretty well. Infinite permanents is another card, basically is another hand trap for your deck, so basically it allows you to stop your opponent in mid-game or whatever. So it's just another way to negate your opponent. And then I do play the 1/5 of Night trap card. The reason why I play this is because it's a free level 4 monster to summon on my side of the board. So yeah. That's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, which is really self-explanatory, the extra deck, in my personal opinion. For the XCs, I do play the one number 38, Hope Aperture. The reason why I play this guy is because I do play a decent amount of level 8 monsters in my deck. It's a very easy way, since an interior beast is no longer able to be played due to the effect of Glow Ball being banned. Number 38 is really good as another way to stop your opponent from playing spells. So if you're going against Shadow Invoked or something like that, or Shadow's Imperial, or Mechanite Invoke, or something like that involves Invoke, or anything that's basically heavy on spells, this is another good card to go against that type of deck. So, my personal opinion, this has actually pulled off a lot, pretty well throughout a lot of decks. Against a lot of decks, I mean. For my rank 4s, I do play one Baby Minerva, one Big Minerva, and then one Abyss Dweller. Now, the reason why I play just these 2 level 4 monsters, or rank 4 monsters, is because Minerva is self-explanatory. I am playing a Lightsworn deck, so it's very good. And Abyss Dweller is good against a lot of decks in this format. I'm taking in perspective of a lot of decks that a lot of people are going to try to test out and play in this format. So I'm thinking Abyss Dweller, and Abyss Dweller is actually pretty good. By doing a lot of testing online and everything like that, I think Abyss Dweller is a good rank 4 to play. Now, I do play a lot of tuners in the deck, so I do like to combo off a lot more with tuners and synchro summon, because I want to see if I could be able to make it synchros really powerful. And so far, it's been working out pretty well. For the level 7 synchros, I do play the Shooting Riser Dragon and then FA Dawn Dragster. Now, these 2 are really powerful, and for Shooting Riser Dragon, it allows me to send like Blackwing's Everfoots Elite or another monster to the graveyard, so I can synchro with him to bring out another synchro monster in my extra deck. So it's basically a way for me to combo off even more and get things that I need in the graveyard even faster. So yeah, and then FA Dawn Dragster is self-explanatory as well. It's basically a free negate, in my personal opinion. It can negate evenly match, which is actually something that a lot of people don't really pay attention to. But it's a really powerful card. For the other synchro monsters, I do play the one Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, the one Warlord Savage Dragon, and then the one Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. This is the thing that you use with Shooting Riser Dragon. Shooting Riser Dragon is basically another way to get Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon out on the board, and Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon is another way to negate your opponent's monster effects. Warlord Savage is another way to, it's basically another free negate as well. And then Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. The reason why I play this guy is because in this format, a lot of people are going to be special summoning, so it's better to burn your opponent for game for that clock. If you're going like in mid-late game or something like that, Scarlet can help you negate. Or like basically Scarlet is another way to destroy your opponent's stuff. So yeah. In my personal opinion, those are pretty much all the best Synchro 8s I could find. I would like to try out Sideframe Lord Omega, but in my personal opinion, at 1, it's not really as powerful as it was back in the day when Fairy Tale Snow and that grass looks greener and stuff like that was the thing. For my last Synchro monster, I do play the one Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. The reason why I play this guy is because he's also another little negate card, as well as he allows me to recycle my tuners, which is actually really powerful in this type of deck. Plus, I do have a lot of Dragon-type monsters that I can synchro with to go into him. So basically, I need a dark dragon monster. So basically, Warlord Savage and Scarlet Dragon Archfiend are both monsters I can synchro with to bring him out. Which, in my personal opinion, there's many ways I can do that. I feel that he's a better way to get a free negate. Plus, he's another card that I can fill up at a 15th extra deck spot. Plus, I need another tuner monster that basically I could combo off with. So, like synchro monster I want to combo off with. That's it for all my Synchros XEs. I do not play any fusions in this deck because I feel that you don't really need them. But for the link ratio of the deck, I do play the for only one link 2 I do play is IP Masquerena. She's self-explanatory. She basically allows me to link away and go for my other link monsters. So Yeah, she's basically one of the best Link 2s in the game. For my Link 3s, I do play the one Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion, as well as Black Closet Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Now, the reason I play this Link is because he's fairly broken, and a lot of people are going to be underestimating its effect and what it does. It's basically a nice card to, say if you have a dead Black Closet Soldier Envoy beginning on the board, or a dead Chaos Dragon Leviator, you can link with those to bring out him, and basically he's a hard beast stick to get around. If you use both IP Masquerena as well as one of those guys and such, it's basically a big beat stick you can't get around, in my personal opinion, and I think it's pretty very consistent in this type of deck. And then Curious, Lightsworn Dominion, Self-Explanatory, you do go for a lot of mill effects and such like that. So yeah. For my Link 4s, I do play one Mechanite Crusader Encomex, one Warlord Dragon, and one Sayuja Skull-Dread. And the reason why I do not play Boarsword, I feel that Boarsword is a Link monster that needs to be addressed. It's very, very powerful for OTKs, and in this format now, it's going to be very, very abusive. And I don't feel like it's really, really needed in this format. I believe it needs to be addressed and gone. Boarlord Dragon, on the other hand, it's another substitute for Boarsword. I will not play Boarsword in this deck. If you guys feel like you want to play Boarsword, you can take out Boarlord. But I feel that Boarlord is more powerful because you can take that extra deck monster and use it to get your opponent to get even more damage to your opponent. Sayuja Skull-Dread, self-explanatory. Draw power is fairly needed in this type of deck. And Mechanite Crusader Acromax because I do play IP Masquerena. So that's the only reason why I play him. That's it for all the Link 4s. And that's it for the extra deck. Now for the side deck. The side deck is based on, because of this format and what you're more likely probably going to go against. So you guys can change the ratios or play a different way or different variant depending on your matchups and things of that nature. I believe this is 15. I'm not completely certain one. Yeah, it's 15. Just to be on the safe side, guys. For the monsters, and the only hand trap I do want to play for this format is triple DD Crow. DD Crow in this format is basically one of the best hand traps to play. Ash is the second best in my personal opinion because DD Crow, if you're going against Synchros, Burning Abyss, other things of that nature, that's going to be on the top tier. DD Crow is really consistent against those type of decks, and I feel that DD Crow can basically slow down your opponent and hurt your opponent based on what you're playing against. So I feel this is basically one of the best side deck hand traps to play. For the back row hate for this type of format, I do play double Twin Twister and triple Cosmic Cyclones. Cosmic Cyclones based on because of Mystic Mine. And in this format, you're going to be seeing a lot more of Mystic Mine burns, Shaddoll Mystic Mine, things of that nature. I feel that Cosmic Cyclone is another way to get rid of that card because there's many ways to bring back Mystic Mine to your hand. So, yeah, and Twin Twister is basically self-explanatory. These are basically your back row hate cards, and you need this in this type of format. Because you're going to be seeing a lot more of stall decks, more than anything. I do play triple Dark Ruler No More in my side deck. This is self-explanatory. If you're going against like some type of mirror mesh, or if you're going against a heavy combo deck, Dark Ruler No More is a way to get around that type of board, to get around that type. Like it's another way to get around your opponent. So yeah, self-explanatory. Triple Evenly Mash. This is also self-explanatory. Going against a lot of back row heavy decks and things of that nature, and break my board decks. This is basically another way to break their boards. So yeah, that's just another self-explanatory thing. And then I do play one extra deck monster. I do play the one Gaga Cowboy because sometimes you can summon a free level 4 monster, and Gaga Cowboy, or rank 4 monster. I mean, Gaga Cowboy is another way to get game for get your opponent. If you can't summon Scarlight and you can go for a rank 4, you can always switch out Scarlight and put Gaga Cowboy just for a mid-game burn. So, yeah. Overall, this deck is really consistent, like I said. You guys can give me some suggestions to play in the deck. I'll be more willing to try out those suggestions and try out some different combo pieces and other things of that nature. If you guys really want to see a test-in video, like I did for my Shaddoll Invoke, let me know down in the comments below. I'll be more willing to test it out. Even though the ban list is already passed, even though April 1st is already passed, the time that I'm going to be uploading this video. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll be more willing to give you more ideas. I will even let you know down in the comments. I will comment down on your comments about your ideas and whether or not I've tried it or not. So be more free to let me know, give me some more advice. Let me know what you guys think about this deck and my other decks that I'll be uploading as well. Like always, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you like it. Like I said, don't be afraid to comment down below. I'm always reading your comments. Like always, don't forget, Dragon Rockstar is signing out. Peace.